Hey guys, welcome to Shojib Tutorials. In this video I'm going to show you the performance difference between the old Unity system versus the new pure ECS system using the job system. So let's compare. I created two systems. One is the old system, which is the the normal way of doing things. For example, how I've been writing Unity code. So let's do some performance test. So if I play the old system, so I'm gonna spawn 1000 cubes and it's rotating on its own, right? So I get 84 FPS for 1000. See, 1000 cubes, right? It's falling from the sky, and I get 74. I'm gonna increase this to 2000. See, as I increase, you will see it in here, and the frame rate is here, 78. I'm gonna keep doing this. 3000, 4, 5000. 6000, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm still at about 50 frames per second. I'm doing that for 10,000 cubes in old Unity system. All right, so I'm going to increase this to 20,000. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20,000. I'm doing less than 30 frames per second using the old Unity system, 22.7 FPS. If I go to 30,000, now I'm doing less than 20 frames per second. As you see, the frame rate is it's very framey. 15. If I go 40, I'm doing less than 12 frames per second, about 12 frames per second. So that proves that, just remember how the frame did from 10 to 40,000, right? And so let's switch it to the new pure ECS and job system. So I'm going to disable the old system. So I have the ECS system, turn it on, and let's go ahead. So here you go. I have 1000. I'm doing 90, about 80 frames per second. I'm going to do 10,000. I'm doing about 70 frames per second. I'm going to do 20,000. I'm doing about 69 frames per second. I'm going to do 30,000. I'm doing 67 frames per second. I'm doing 40,000. I'm doing about 68 frames per second. Let's go beyond this. Let's go 50. I'm doing 52,000. I'm still do above 60 frames per second. Can you imagine this? I'm going 62,000, still above 60 frame. Let me go 70,000. I am still above 60 frames per second. Let me do 80,000. I am still above 60 frames per second. Let's do 90,000. And I'm still above 60 frames per second. Let's do 100,000. I am now below 60 frames per second, but 58 per second. Let's do, I can keep going this, but this proves how better FPS you get using the pure ECS system. See, we did about 100,000 and it's still around 60 frames per second. And in using the old system, when I did 40,000 cubes, it was below 15 frames per second. Alright, so if you guys want to know how to convert from the old system into the new pure ECS system, continue watching this video. And if you found it useful, don't forget to press the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so I created a brand new 3D project. Alright, so first thing, we're going to create the old system. Okay, then we're going to take the old system and convert it into pure ECS system, and we're going to keep both of the system there. So first, let me create an empty object and name it the old system. All right, this is where I'm going to attach my controller and do the stuff. Now I'm going to create a cube, and I'm going to name it old OS cube, old system cube. I'm going to create a material for this. Let me create a folder here. Create mat old system cube mat cube fine. I'm going to attach the material to my cube. Prefab, drag this, put it over here, remove this from the scene. So go to scripts folder, create new C# script. It's going to be OS cube. If I open this, okay, so we only need the update. Create a vector 3 and call it position, and apply my transform position here because I need to manipulate this. It can't directly manipulate position of y-axis, so you have to assign to a vector. So if I do position y now, -10, move speed times time delta to transform that position equal position. All right, there you go. Now I'm going to do rotate, transform dot rotate using the vector 3 up, and I'm going to use the rotate speed times time delta. So alright, so this code takes care of the dropping the cube from the sky and then rotating it. Let's give it a try. Old system, so I'm going to call it let's get a controller. I need a game object. I'm going to call it cube. This is going to be public, so I'll be able to attach an object to it. I would need a public int number of cubes to spawn, number of cubes to spawn. So I need another public text, which is going to be the cubes counter, cube counter. And this is the UI, so you can get you can do using Unity spawn cubes method. So in here I'm going to, when I start the game, I spawn them immediately. Int I equals 0, I less than, guess what, number of cubes to spawn, I plus. Now I'm going to instantiate their position is x, y, union identity. Okay, we're almost done. So this creates some random variables x, y, and z and instantiate the cube and put it in the right position. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to cube spawn, number of cube spawn. This I'm going to keep track of this. So I'm going to have this and number of cubes. So I'm going to display this in the in the scene so that I know how many cubes I spawned. Then the counter cubes, I think this is cube counter, cubes counter. The text, this is a text equal object spawns cube spawned. dot toString. All right, this should be pretty much it. This is the code part. I mean, we still have to create the plane, the tags, and I have to assign these variables. All right, let's go back to our scene. So first, let's create a plane, 3D plane, and then scale it by like 30. We're going to create a materials, mat plane, give it a color, nice color. Let me apply this to this first, and then change the color to, let's stick to that. Then this, we need a text, so go to UI and text. This is going to be our cubes counter, right? All right, and the old system, so we're going to take our controller and take our old controller and drag it into our old system. All right, so we have cube, number of cubes of counter. I think we also need, do we have the, okay, so we, before we create cube prefab, right, let's put it back to our scene, delete the prefab, and apply the cube script to cube. There you go. All right, now we're going to convert this into prefab. So the prefab has the script. All right, there you go. All right, so remove the cube from the scene. All right, so we have the cube with the cube script. We have the plane, we have the text. So what we're going to align the text now. If you double click on the text and click on 2D here to the top left, right here, and we need to change the color to, okay. Now click on the old system, click on the old system game object, and I'm going to assign cube, number of cubes, cube counter, text. The cube, our cube is, go to prefab, okay, and drag the cube and put it here. Number of cubes, we're going to do 1000. Cubes counter text, and this is the text. Okay, so I think we're set. We can give it a try. We might have to adjust the camera. I don't know if where we're going to spawn, and we just have to adjust it before. Based on that, let's do first one. Okay, we are doing pretty good. We're doing 80 frames, so we have to adjust the camera as I mentioned, so we have to move it to, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to alter this, so it's from 0 to 100, right? X. If we can back a little bit, so we're in the center, so that's why, like this. Let's give it a play. Okay, so we have a better view right now. Okay, let me front, rotate a little bit like this. Now let's try it again. All right, I think this is fine. All right, so we're doing, okay, we've changed the color of the text. Yeah. Okay, so let's give it a try. We have 1000 falling from the sky, 1000 cubes and rotating on its own. Let's do 2000. Let's do 5000. We're doing above 60 frames per second using the old system. Not bad, right? Let's do 10,000. We are doing less than 50 frames per second. All right, so we're gonna do now add 5,000 more. Let's at 10,000 we did less than 50 frames per second. Let's add 5 more, 5,000 more. So we have 15,000, which is less than 40 frames per second. It's not bad though, right? Using the old system, because it's so easy to write code. That's why Unity is so popular, because it's easy to get started with. Now let's add 5 more. 20. We're doing less than 30 frames per second, like 26 frames per second about. Okay, and let's add 5 more, and we're doing 19 frames per second. Let's add 5 more, 30,000. We're doing about 16 frames per second. Let's do 35,000. Let's do 40,000. Now it's really choking, right? As you see, the frame is very framey. This kind of stuff you can really play. It's hard to play games like this when it's too framey, but how many times are you going to spawn 40,000 cubes? So yeah, so that goes the old system.